Probably the fastest turnaround I've ever done in terms of waking up and starting this video. Obviously getting ready beforehand too. But also, like, seriously, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just this time of year. But I have, like, every opportunity from, like, 5 until, like, just after 20 after 6, where I really could get up and get my day started, but I just don't have the energy to do it. And now it's going to cost me because there was something I kind of wanted to do in regards before I get my day started, but I'm not entirely sure I'm going to have the time to do it now. So my low is I'm currently franticing to get things done at the moment. That's okay though, because for all intents and purposes, I do need to talk about something today. And I figured I made enough of a big deal about this on Tuesday in regards to guessing who this week's Hot Ones guest is. Today, I am strongly considering seeing Inside Out 2. But before I see Inside Out 2, it only makes sense to talk about the first one. Because I did see the first one. Now, I talked about Inside Out here and there over the years. But never have I ever... Actually, what am I thinking? I have to do my... Okay, I guess my low is that I'm frantically getting things done. My high is... the weather's actually been picking up. For once, it didn't feel so cold yesterday. It was great. And my act of kindness was I brought the garbage in for my folks. I emptied the dehumidifier, did laundry, emptied and filled the dishwasher for them. I did a lot. So, without further ado, I believe I said I've talked about Inside Out here and there in my videos over the years. But I never actually made a video solely dedicated to, this movie. So, considering that I am about to see the sequel, why not? So, you need to go back in time a little ways to understand the context of what's going on. Because before the first Inside Out movie came out, Pixar was actually kind of struggling for a little bit. Really, it was. I mean, up until about Toy Story 3, Pixar had hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. Even the weaker films in my eyes, like A Bug's Life or Cars, they were massive successes in their own right. And then in 2011, we got Cars 2, which really was not a very good movie. In 2012, we got Brave, a significantly much better movie than Cars 2, but still didn't really pick up the critical and box office acclaim that, among many of its other predecessors had. In 2013, you had Monsters University, which I didn't bother seeing. I didn't see Cars 2 either, in case I was wrong. I just saw Brave because I thought Brave was substantially better than Cars 2. And I didn't need to see Cars 2 to know that Brave was substantially better than Cars 2. But again, Brave didn't receive the numbers and claim that it deserved, so there you go. It had gotten so... Because you have to understand, Pixar comes out with one, if we're lucky, maybe 2 movies a year. So you better hope that whatever hit movie you're making, it better be a hit. And Will Smith talked about this in Movies on Hot Ones. The criteria for getting a hit is still there. It's just nowadays with better technology and stuff, it's just more difficult to do. And that's the ultimate problem and that was the problem with Pixar. Even back in from 2011 to 2014, Pixar was just not coming out with any hits whatsoever. In fact, 2014, there was no Pixar movie. Really, at least I don't think there was. Well, I'm blanking, so... think about it. This is Pixar. In that entire... from 1995, I believe, to 2010, Pixar wasn't just a household name. It was the name, okay? You had like the Toy Story trilogy, of Bugs Life, Finding Nemo, the first Incredibles movie, Ratatouille, Cars, which again, I mean, I like the first Cars, but the other two Cars not so much. Anyway, Ratatouille, Wall-E, Up. Oh my God, I love Up. I know I just said the other day, like, if you've seen the trailer for Up, then there's no reason why you'd ever need to cry after the first 10 minutes of Up. But still, it's such a great movie. Pixar just had a lot of great movies. And then from like, as soon as it came out with Cars 2, it just didn't really quite get the hits that it used to get. So, when I first heard that they were coming out with a movie called Inside Out, a movie that takes place inside the mind of a human being, you know, the emotions have their own different personalities, but they actually personify those personalities as well. Like, okay, it looks as if Pixar is coming back to its roots in terms of coming up with an original idea that actually looks interesting. And I remember reading up who the cast was, and I was like, Amy Poehler is joy, Phyllis Smith is sadness, Mindy Kaling is disgust, Bill Hader is fear. My favorite casting choice, hands down, was one of my all-time favorite comedians, Louis Black, as Anger. I know that technically sadness was a favorite character for a lot of people in that movie, but yeah, Anger and joy. Which sounds kind of demented when you think about it. And I also just realized I'm wearing red, just like Anger. So I thought the cast looked great, and and I've said this before, from the very beginning of the movie, I actually began to cry. You need to understand, like, I didn't cry after the first 10 minutes of Up. I didn't cry after Toy Story 3. I didn't cry at the beginning of Finding Nemo. Didn't make me cry. No Pixar movie ever got me to cry. Yet within the first several minutes of Inside Out, I actually began to tear up. Now, granted, I have said this before many times as well, one of my weaknesses is the sound of a crying baby. I mean, it's very funny I'm saying this in a movie in regards to talking about Inside Out. But I've always felt like, we live in a society that actually kind of scoffs at the idea of crying and showing emotion, which, first of all, if you're one of those haters, get your ass to a theater or get your ass to any sort of showing of Inside Out and watch it, because you need to be re-educated. I'm being dead serious, okay? Again, crying is the most human thing a person can do. And you're going to scoff at that? Many years ago, I made a solemn vow I'd never make fun of anyone for crying. Hell, you know what? I'd even cry with them if it was possible for me to do that. And, the sound of a crying baby, it got me. And from that moment on, I was hooked. I love that all 5 emotions, while they clearly are the emotions that they personify, they function as a cohesive unit. I love how, Riley is, and someone actually edited it where, it's Inside Out, but you don't see the emotions, just Riley going through the fact that she and her family moved from Minnesota to San Francisco, and she goes over, all the experiences of moving and how sad it can be, that she misses home, and she misses doing the things that she likes doing at home, how scary it can be in a new place. The fact that, going to a new school definitely was a big thing. And, the whole thing regarding, congratulations, San Francisco, you ruined pizza. First the Hawaiians, and now you. Oh, gosh, I love Louis Black as Anger so much. I'm glad that he's back in this movie. I'll get to that in the sequel, but I'll get to that in a second. So, actually, interesting fact about the movie. In Japan, because here in America, when Inside Out was released, it was, Riley doesn't like broccoli because, broccoli is, gross. And the people at Pixar thought, hey, what's something that disgusts kids? Broccoli. Well, in Japan, they actually had to re-edit that movie to say Riley doesn't like green peppers. So if you watch the Japanese iteration of the movie Inside Out, it's literally going to show Riley being disgusted at green peppers. Fun fact for you. Because little kids apparently in Japan don't like green peppers. I like green peppers. They're fine. Anyway, I know some people don't like green peppers, but I do like green peppers. Green peppers are okay. Especially when you put them with sausage and onions. That's good. Anyway, and the most important there's so much you can learn from this movie that I could be talking for like the next hour and I still don't think I'd be able to convey enough of what I'm supposed to say here. But at the end, because what happens is, because in a person you have core memories, and for the most part, every core memory has been a happy moment, for a joy moment. But, Phyllis Smith is about to, who's a sadness, is about to ruin a core memory of her first day in school because it shows Riley crying. But, Joy doesn't want that. And one of the ultimate lessons is, and I just said earlier, you need sadness. Like, for the love of God, man, you gotta let yourself have a good cry. You just do. Hell, I just had a good cry a couple days ago. It was awesome. It felt very liberating. Point is, and over time you realize, like when you realize you're actually allowed to let your emotions fly, you can do some pretty amazing things. And you can have some pretty amazing memories, which is another lesson. It's possible to have mixed emotions about something. For example, during the movie, Riley tries to run away, but at the very end, she changed her mind, she goes back home, and her parents are worried about her, and there's this one moment where Riley and her parents are hugging, and then another core memory shows up, but it's both happy and sad. That's a core memory. And then that's another core memory, but it's mixed emotions. And it turns out there's other mixed emotions, like when Riley's playing hockey, that's joyous, that's joy and anger. Or, there's other emotions too, but the point is, it's very important to have these emotions, there is. And I love the commentary of how, the emotions are in charge of whatever, there's like a whole movie set regarding what dreams a person has. There's a Chinatown reference in the movie, which, that was great. And, what else? I feel at this point I should talk about, here's the thing, this part didn't make me sad, but I know a lot of people did. The death of Bing Bong, played brilliantly by Richard Kind. I love Richard Kind. Richard Kind isn't in enough stuff. I like Richard Kind. He's Bing Bong. And Bing Bong essentially dies. Which, I can say for a lot of people, that's going to traumatize them. But, I guess, I don't know why I'm talking about this. Don't get me wrong, I was sad that Bing Bong had to die because, he falls into, the abyss, and it's the abyss of forgotten memories. That's what it was. That's where they were. And, if you're in there too long, you're going to be forgotten. And so, Bing Bong was just in there too long, and that's how it disappeared. It's just, good God, what can I say? What else can I say about this movie that hasn't already been said? Here's the thing. 2015 was the year that two of my favorite movies ever were released in the theaters. The first Kingsman movie and Mad Max Fury Road. And I was so happy when Eric Rodriguez, aka E-Rod, aka the Blockbuster Buster, did honest reviews of those two movies. I was really hoping he did. And I remember him talking about Mad Max Fury Road. And I remember him saying, even though a lot of people are saying that this is the best movie to come out in theaters this year, and I will admit this is a pretty damn great movie, I will be talking about what I think is the best movie to come out in 2015 next week. That movie, Inside Out. I mean, listen, I love the Blockbuster Buster, I really do, and I have been inclined to disagree with him every now and again. But if you wanted to say that Inside Out was the best movie to come out in 2015, I will not stop you from saying that. Not at all. In fact, I will applaud you that you want to say that. Because, I mean, 2015 was a solid year for movies all around. I mean, I just mentioned Kingsman. I just mentioned Mad Max Fury Road. I've been talking about Inside Out this entire video, for the most part. I mean, take your pick amongst those movies. Or the Peanuts movie. That was another movie that came out. So there, I just recommended 4 really solid movies in 2015 for you to watch. You're welcome. Shaun the Sheep movie. That's another movie that came out too, Shaun the Sheep. That's fine. I really just recommended y'all 5 movies for y'all. Oh, It Follows. I think It Follows is another movie. 6. I mean, watch any of those movies, but consider that Inside Out 2 is coming out this weekend. In fact, it's coming out today. I highly recommend you watch the first Inside Out movie. But again, that's just me. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, YouTube channel, my social media is always under home this video for you guys to watch the show for them. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Thursday. Oh, happy Thursday, folks. And remember, if you guys want to talk channel, which video to let me know your day, take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.